What if I told you that the quickest way to make a man think about you is sometimes to stop reminding him that you exist? Many folks believe that attraction grows through steady texting all the time. But quite often, the more available you become, the less room there is for someone to truly miss you. Today, I am going to explain why the women who remain in a man's thoughts are not always the ones sending the most messages. We are the ones building the strongest emotional connection. And once you get this idea, you will stop worrying so much about what message to send next. Have you ever noticed how sometimes a person suddenly comes into your mind for no clear reason? It might have been a memory, or perhaps the way they made you feel. It could also be something that felt unfinished between you two. That is because our minds do not hold on to people just because they text us every single day. We hold on to them because they leave a deep emotional mark. So before we go further, let me ask you this. Have you ever tried texting more, only to feel like it actually made things worse? Let me know in the comments, because today we are going to discuss what really keeps someone thinking about you long after the talk finishes. The first thing to understand is this: you cannot force anyone to think about you, but you can set up conditions that make it much more likely to happen. One of the biggest errors people make is thinking that attraction stays strong through non-stop talking. They believe if they do not text him, he will forget all about them. But think about your own experiences in life. The people you have thought about the most were not always the ones who reached out the most often. Often, they were the ones who made you feel something important and real. That is the key difference here. Frequency brings familiarity, while emotion builds memory. And memory is what keeps someone thinking about you even later on. If you want to learn how to stay in his head without texting, hit like right now so this reaches more women who need it. The second idea is giving someone space to wonder about you. Now, this does not mean playing any games at all. It does not involve ignoring the person on purpose either. It simply means letting life have some natural breathing room. When every thought, every feeling, and every little update is shared right away, there is no space left for curiosity to grow. Curiosity is a very strong force. It leads someone to wonder what she is doing right now, or how her day went, or what she might be up to at this moment. Those kinds of thoughts do not appear when every answer comes instantly. They come when there is enough room for the imagination to work its magic naturally. Another key point is building a life that truly excites you from within. This might be one of the most attractive things anyone can do for themselves. When your happiness depends completely on another person's attention, it puts too much pressure on the whole situation. But when you are really involved in your own goals, your friendships, your passions, and your daily experiences, something important shifts. You become more attractive overall. Not because you are trying hard to impress anyone, but because you are living your life fully and with joy. People are naturally pulled toward those who have purpose and positive energy. And that kind of energy stays in their memory for a long time. Think about the talks you have with him. Are they mostly positive ones? Do they leave him feeling inspired, appreciated, understood, or full of good energy? People really want experiences that make them feel good inside. When someone links you with positive emotions, your presence stays with them even after the conversation is over. This does not mean you have to be perfect all the time. It means being real, kind, playful, and truly present in the moment. Those qualities stay with people long after the words end. Now let us talk a bit about confidence. Confidence is not about acting like you do not care at all. It is about trusting that your value stays strong even when your phone stays quiet for a while. A confident person does not constantly look for reassurance from others. They know that real connection grows naturally when two people enjoy each other's company. The more secure you feel inside yourself, the less pressure you put on every single talk. And strangely enough, that often makes you even more attractive to others. If you are enjoying this message and want more ideas on confidence, attraction, and healthy relationships, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. And if you have ever found yourself overthinking a simple text message, share that in the comments below. I am choosing confidence here. Let us keep going with more thoughts. One of the strongest ways to remain in someone's mind is by creating meaningful moments together. People tend to remember those special times. A deep conversation, a real laugh, a shared experience, or a moment when they felt truly seen can stay with them. Those kinds of experiences have much more power than many ordinary text messages put together. That is why quality almost always wins over quantity in these situations. A memorable talk can remain in someone's thoughts for weeks or more, but 100 forgettable messages often fade away within just a few hours. Here is something else worth remembering. Stop measuring your own worth by how fast someone replies to you. Comment "miss me" if you've ever felt like texting more only made him pull away. The moment your self-worth gets tied to another person's attention, you give away some of your power. Instead, focus on becoming someone whose life feels full and valuable no matter who is texting or when, because that is where true confidence grows. And confidence is something people remember well. At the end of the day, staying in his thoughts is not about any kind of manipulation. It is not about making someone obsessed with you. It is not about trying to control how another person feels either. It is about becoming the kind of person who leaves a good, lasting impression. Someone who is confident, authentic, and brings real value to those around them. When you live that way, you do not have to push anyone to think about you. The connection will speak for itself in time. And whether it is a close relationship, a friendship, or a new romance, the people who create the strongest impact are rarely the loudest ones. They are the ones who make others feel something real and meaningful. So the next time you feel like sending another message just to hold his attention, pause for a moment. Ask yourself if you are trying to build a real connection or if you are simply trying to ease your own worries. Because answering that question honestly can change how you approach things completely. And remember, the real goal is not just to stay in someone's head for a while. The goal is to build a life that is so satisfying, confident, and full of meaning that your presence becomes naturally unforgettable to others. One of the biggest wrong ideas in dating is thinking that staying in someone's mind needs constant talking back and forth. Many assume that if they stop texting, stop checking in, or stop finding reasons to start new chats, the other person will slowly lose interest and forget them. But attraction and real emotional bonds do not actually work like that at all. In truth, what keeps someone thinking about you is rarely the number of messages sent. It is the emotional feeling they connect with you. Think about the people you remember most fondly in your own life. They are probably not the ones who contacted you the most frequently. They are the ones who made you feel something important. Maybe they made you laugh when you really needed it. Maybe they inspired you, challenged you, encouraged you, or helped you feel understood like no one else could. Those emotional moments create a strong, lasting mark because humans are emotional beings at heart. We remember feelings much longer than we recall plain facts, schedules, or everyday chats. This is why emotional impact is so much stronger than just staying in touch all the time. When every talk has real meaning, it carries more weight with it. A thoughtful conversation can stay in someone's mind for days because it stirred up an emotion that truly mattered to them. A moment of true connection becomes memorable since it made them feel seen, valued, or appreciated. On the other hand, endless texting with no deeper purpose often turns into simple background noise. The chat might keep going, but the emotional meaning fades away over time. Many people fall into the habit of talking too much because they think it builds closeness. They send messages all day, share every little detail of their routine, and keep seeking more interaction to hold things together. While good communication matters a lot, too much of it can sometimes lower the sense of excitement and waiting. When someone always knows what you are doing, what you are thinking, and when you will message next, there is little mystery or emotional spark left. The whole thing starts to feel predictable instead of special. Creating emotional impact does not need big dramatic actions or huge gestures. It often comes from being fully there during your talks together. When someone feels truly heard, respected, and understood, they leave with a warm emotional memory. When you add warmth, authenticity, humor, confidence, and kindness to a conversation, you create feelings that stay with people after it ends. Type space if you're ready to create curiosity instead of chasing him. Those feelings are what folks carry with them as they go through their day. Another reason emotional impact is so important is because people naturally go back to experiences that made them feel good. If someone always connects you with positivity, comfort, excitement, or inspiration, their mind will return to those moments without you needing to do anything. They do not need a reminder message to think about you because the emotional memory works as the reminder on its own. The bond becomes self-sustaining since it comes from meaningful times rather than non-stop chatting. The most unforgettable people are usually not the ones asking for the most attention. They are the ones who build the strongest emotional links whenever they are around. Instead of worrying about how often you show up in someone's messages, focus on the quality of the moments you create when you do connect. A single conversation that leaves someone feeling inspired, understood, or truly happy can have a bigger effect than 100 regular texts. When emotional impact is your main focus, you stop chasing attention and begin building real connections. And that is what truly remains in someone's mind for the long run. One of the most effective but often missed parts of attraction is curiosity. Many people think keeping attention means always being available, always talking, and replying right away. They worry that if they pull back even a little, the other person will lose interest quickly. In truth, attraction often grows in the quiet spaces between talks. Curiosity is what fills those spaces naturally. It is what makes someone think about you when you are not around, wonder about your life, and feel like reaching out again. Human beings are curious by nature. We are pulled toward things we do not completely understand and experiences that feel a bit open-ended. When every thought, feeling, plan, and detail is shared immediately, there is almost nothing left for the imagination to explore. The mind has no new territory because all the details are already out there. While being open and communicating well matters in good relationships, sharing everything all the time can accidentally take away the sense of discovery that makes early connections exciting. Leaving room for curiosity does not mean playing tricks or ignoring someone on purpose. It is not about causing confusion, holding back care, or trying to control emotions. It just means letting your life go on independently from the relationship. It means knowing you do not have to send constant updates to stay important to them. Comment emotion if you want more secrets on building emotional impact that lasts. When someone sees that you have your own interests, goals, friends, and experiences, they naturally start wondering about the parts of your life they have not seen yet. Imagine meeting someone with a real passion for something they care about deeply. Maybe they are working toward a goal, learning a new skill, building something important, or following a creative path. They do not talk about it every single minute, but you can tell it matters to them. That alone creates interest. You become curious about what drives them, what they are working on, and what their future could hold. The curiosity grows, not from made-up mystery, but from the fact that they have real depth beyond the current chat. Curiosity also grows best when talks end on a high, positive note, instead of dragging on until the energy drops. Many people keep conversations going long after the best part is over because they fear stopping. But when a talk finishes while both are still enjoying it, it leaves a good emotional feeling. The other person walks away happy and often thinks about it later on their own. Their mind goes back to the moment because it ended with warmth rather than tiredness. Another useful part of curiosity is a healthy kind of unpredictability. This does not mean being unreliable or changing all the time. It means having a rich, interesting life that cannot be guessed completely by someone else. When your whole routine centers only around one person, every action becomes too easy to predict. But when you have your own priorities and adventures, there is always something fresh to learn about you. People are naturally attracted to those who keep growing, changing, and exploring life. Curiosity builds emotional investment because it gets someone thinking about you actively. Instead of just receiving information, they start wondering about you and looking forward to finding out more. That kind of mental involvement is valuable, since attraction grows not only from talking, but also from waiting, imagining, and wanting to see what happens next. One of the most appealing qualities anyone can have is living a life that genuinely excites them. Yet many make the error of thinking attraction comes mostly from putting all their focus on the person they like. They start changing their plans, setting aside hobbies, letting friendships slide, and making the relationship the main part of everything. While this might look like showing interest and dedication, it often creates the opposite result. The more your happiness relies only on another person's attention, the more strain it puts on the bond. Real attraction grows when two whole people come together, each with their own meaningful lives, not when one depends completely on the other for fulfillment. When you stay busy with your own goals, passions, and experiences, you naturally become more interesting. This happens not because you are trying to show off, but because real enthusiasm spreads to others. People feel drawn to those who carry energy, purpose, and excitement about their days. Whether it is career dreams, creative work, fitness plans, travel ideas, learning something new, or time with loved ones, these things shape you and add layers to who you are. Think about the people you look up to the most. Often, they are folks with their own clear path in life. They have hobbies, dreams, and activities that bring them joy. They do not wait for someone else to make them happy. Share this with a friend who overthinks her texts. She needs this dating secret. Their confidence comes from building a life they genuinely enjoy on their own. That independence is attractive because it reflects inner strength and self-respect. It shows that while a relationship can enrich life, it is not the only source of happiness. When you invest in your own experiences, you bring fresh energy into every conversation. Instead of seeking constant approval, you have stories to share, passions to pursue, and a life that adds depth to every connection. Your happiness no longer depends on every message or meeting. A full and meaningful life also reduces anxiety in relationships. When your days are filled with purpose, friendships, and personal goals, you are less likely to overthink slow replies or changing plans. Your world remains fulfilling, regardless of what happens in one conversation. This naturally builds confidence. Not the confidence of never feeling fear, but the confidence of knowing your worth does not depend on someone else's attention. People are naturally drawn to those who enjoy their own lives because that energy reflects purpose, enthusiasm, and genuine self-respect. One of the strongest ways to stay in someone's mind is through the emotions they associate with you. People may forget exact words, but they remember how you made them feel. The moments that stay with us are rarely the longest ones. They are the conversations that made us feel understood, the laughter we could not stop, or the encouragement that came when we needed it most. Those meaningful experiences create lasting emotional memories, and that is what makes a connection truly unforgettable. The emotional weight of those moments is what made them stick. The same rule works in dating and relationships. When someone has positive times with you, their mind starts making strong links. They begin connecting your presence with happiness, comfort, excitement, inspiration, or thankfulness. These emotional ties are powerful because the brain looks for rewarding feelings even when you are not there. Those sensations can bring back thoughts of you. A song, a spot, a joke, or a random part of the day might suddenly remind them of something you shared. Many focus a lot on keeping contact, thinking frequency alone will keep them important. Sending frequent messages without creating real emotional impact rarely builds a lasting bond. Someone can text every day and still be forgotten, while one meaningful experience can stay in someone's mind for weeks. Quality matters far more than quantity. Genuine listening, honest conversations, and showing real interest make people feel valued, respected, and understood. Those moments create lasting emotional memories because they meet our basic need to feel appreciated. Humor and shared experiences also leave a powerful impression. Laughing together, offering support, showing kindness, or sharing meaningful conversations create memories people naturally return to. Small moments that make someone feel better often matter more than grand gestures. As those positive experiences repeat over time, your presence becomes connected with feelings of comfort, trust, and happiness, making the relationship far more memorable. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities you can develop, yet it is often misunderstood. True confidence is not about never feeling fear or always saying the right thing. It is knowing your own worth without depending on someone else's approval. When confidence is missing, it often appears as chasing, constantly seeking reassurance, overthinking conversations, or feeling the need to stay in touch all the time. The moment you stop chasing approval and start enjoying the connection, your energy becomes calmer, stronger, and far more attractive. Their emotions depend on the other person's answers, making every message delay or shift feel huge. The trouble with chasing is that it adds heavy pressure on everyone. Instead of letting things grow naturally, it makes an environment where one person is always looking for certainty. This can make talks feel less easy and less real because so much feeling rides on each exchange. The more someone needs attention to feel okay, the harder it is to enjoy the current moment. Confidence creates a much better flow. A confident person can really like someone, care a lot, and still keep emotional balance. They do not see every slow reply as rejection or every moment of distance as a problem. They understand that people have responsibilities, priorities, and lives beyond a relationship because their self-worth does not depend on constant approval. They trust their own value instead of feeling they must constantly prove it. Confident people know healthy relationships grow through mutual effort, not endless sacrifice. They also set healthy boundaries, express their needs with kindness, and refuse to settle for less than they deserve. That confidence brings emotional freedom, allowing them to enjoy a connection without losing themselves in it. Type confident if you're choosing to build your own life and become unforgettable. This kind of energy is naturally attractive because it reflects maturity and self-respect. People are drawn to those who are comfortable with themselves, not because they are perfect, but because they carry quiet confidence. While many focus on sending the perfect text, attraction is shaped by something much deeper. Your attitude, confidence, lifestyle, and the way you carry yourself often leave a stronger impression than any message ever could. That is why your energy speaks louder than words. Energy is the feeling people experience when they are with you. It is reflected in your confidence, emotional steadiness, kindness, humor, and genuine love for life. Every interaction leaves an emotional impression, and that often matters more than the exact words you say. Think about the people you enjoy most. It is rarely because they speak perfectly. It is because they make you feel relaxed, appreciated, inspired, supported, and understood. As a result, you enjoy being with them and think about them later. The same idea works in dating and relationships. When someone has positive energy, they make talks feel easy and natural. Conversations move smoothly because they are not always trying to impress or prove their value. They are okay being themselves. This realness builds trust and connection, since people can tell when someone is honest. On the other hand, when a person focuses too much on saying the right thing or getting a certain reply, talks can feel stiff and not genuine. Your way of living also sends out energy. A person with meaningful goals, hobbies, friendships, and personal growth sends a powerful message without saying a word. Their happiness comes from many parts of life, not just one relationship. That independence reflects emotional balance and self-respect, qualities people naturally admire. Emotional steadiness also leaves a lasting impression. Someone who stays calm, positive, and grounded creates a sense of safety and trust. Confidence grows from that same energy, showing through actions rather than constant attention. Comment curiosity if this is already changing how you think about texting him. Kindness and positivity strengthen that energy even more. Small acts of thoughtfulness, genuine interest, encouragement, and respect create emotional memories people remember long after a conversation ends. Over time, others begin to associate you with warmth, trust, and consistency. That lasting impression becomes far more powerful than any text message because it is built through who you are, not just what you say. Before you go, I would love to hear from you. Which of these ideas do you think is the most helpful for staying in his mind without constant texting? Let me know in the comments below. If this message helped you, make sure to like it and share it with a friend who might benefit today. If you want to build confidence, create deeper connections, and attract healthy relationships without games or manipulation, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thank you for reading, and I will see you in the next one. Like this video, comment which tip hit you hardest, space, emotion, or confident, and subscribe for more Matthew Hussey style dating secrets to stay in his head naturally.